Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for Bhagavad Gita discussion. So we are continuing the discussion on the Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, shloka number 12 we completed yesterday. And today we are going to continue from shloka number 13. So those devotees who were there yesterday, would you like to share what we discussed yesterday? Some few points and flow of the discussion from 4th till 12th we discussed yesterday. So can some devotees share few points?
About 4th, I can say that in the 4th shloka, Krishna says that 3 points you mentioned over there, that he is all pervading one. Second, all beings are in him. And third, most important, that I am not in them. Where Prabhu, you explained that this actually means that existence is dependent on Krishna. I am not in them actually. I am not in them means I am not dependent on them, but their existence is dependent on me. So this point you clarified in that 4th shloka of 9th chapter.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
And
so
you discussed about aloofness. Aloofness also you discussed.
Yeah, other devotees can share. Yeah, Shri Gangapati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, like yesterday we started from 9.3 verse. Like for 9.1 and 2 speaks about the qualification of a person who can understand Krishna, and third shloka is like disqualification. Like those who have no faith on Krishna, they will be in this material world only. In that you are explaining from Prabhupada that 3 types of peoples, like first class is like Uttamadhikari, who is well versed in scripture, and also he has firm faith on Krishna. And then you spoke of Madhyamadhikari, who has firm faith on Krishna, but he is not very well versed in scripture. And third is like Kanishtadhikari, was telling like he doesn't have faith on firm faith on Krishna, and he is not well versed in scripture, but he has little faith on Krishna. So there is a stage like Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, then Uttamadhikari. Slowly you have to go.
Thank you, Prabhu. Somebody else had raised hand. Okay, so somebody can share ahead what we were discussing, 6th, 7th, 8th verses. About creation and destruction.
6th you extend the ether space part of it basically.
Yeah, tell me.
If the
so you also mentioned he's not attached to material world. He's aloof, not contaminated. He's not affected, and he doesn't feel burdened. That's what you mentioned. What Lord says.
Yeah, why the ether example only is given? That you remember we discussed. Why not
because the mixing characteristics of ether basically you compare with other chemical mixing also, where the form changes, but when ether mixes, it doesn't changes it.
No, not like that. Okay, somebody else would like to that. Why the example of ether is given, or sky? You are not able to unmute? Okay. Somebody else can tell.
Can I try?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Madhu.
Prabhuji, because it always remain unmixed.
Yes.
That's why we give the example.
Yeah. So can you explain how others elements are mixed? We discussed, right?
For example, air mixed with water, then it create some form of moisture. And similarly, the fire plus water and water plus earth. In this.
Yeah, respective mixtures are there. Okay. So we discussed few examples like wood. Wood is a mixture of fire, earth, all these things. And there is some water also actually in the wood. So all these things are getting mixed, but ether itself doesn't get mixed with any other item, with any other element. Okay. So we discussed also about creation and destruction yesterday. So 7th, 8th, 9th, these verses. Yeah, somebody can share about that. Okay, Anuradha Mate, you were there yesterday. You want to share?
Prabhuji, Thali, Bhutani, that is the things which are created by me are not within me, but I am there in everything, like water, pot, that is.
Water pot example we discussed. That already discussed about creation and destruction. 7th, 8th, 9th, we were discussing. 10th also. Yeah, Prasanna Gopal.
Prabhuji, yesterday we were discussing about creation. Like the creation happens through by the will of Lord without any direct involvement of Lord, and that also through Mahavishnu through in the Karanodak ocean, the Karanodak Vishnu or Mahavishnu.
Your voice is okay. Yeah, yesterday we were discussing about the end of Brahma's life. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, like you are discussing about this Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and Shradaksha Vishnu. You are comparing this Mahavishnu, like all are like Paramatmas only. Like Mahavishnu is the represent the Paramatma of the whole material world, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu represents the Paramatma of Shradaksha Vishnu represents the Paramatma of individual living entities, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu represents the Paramatma of the universe. Like this, three ways you are comparing. Hare Krishna.
I think we have lost connectivity to Prabhuji.
Oh, sorry, my voice, I could not hear. I think you explained about 3 Paramatmas, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, somebody else want to share about 10th verse, Mayadakshena Prakriti? What was explained in that? Who else was there? Okay, Isha Mataji?
Prabhuji, actually,
would you like to share?
Hare Krishna.
Isha Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna,
we
yes.
discussed about the argument where this you should not get bound because you provide good or bad as an act of injustice. So the answer was the Lord is the sanctioner. He desires, he sanctions whatever the devotee is desiring, and then material nature will provide it. So that we discussed.
Okay, yeah. Yes, thank you. Okay, somebody else want to share about the section 11 and 12 we were discussing? Who else was there yesterday? Prerna Mataji, you want to share?
Yes, Prabhuji. 11 and 12 verse states about how the fools who don't surrender to the Lord. And 13 and 14 is about pure devotional service. So
yeah, that we will discuss today. Yeah.
9.11 Ajananti, not knowing, that is innocent, and Avajananti, they deride eternal human form of the Lord. Who's deride the human form of the Lord? So how Lord is not human form, he is not made up of 5 elements. He is Sachidananda. And that example of king and the throne that was explained. Then one argument was there: if soul can get out of the material nature, overcome it, then why Supreme Lord not? We discussed about that. Then 9.10, what is the result of considering Krishna to be an ordinary human being? That they do not get salakya. Karmi, they don't get, they are after the fruits, and Jnani, they do not attain the liberation. That's what I have attained.
Yes, thank you, Madhuri. Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, so yesterday we discussed this segregation of how this section is divided. So 4 to 10, we discussed about the Gyan aspect, not Gyan Yoga. This is Gyan aspect as compared to the Vigyan aspect. So Gyan is material world as well as living entity. So these two things are described in the Gyan aspect. So that was discussed. And then 11 to 12, we just started discussing, where we discussed that there are people who consider the Lord to be made of Lord's form as a human being, and it is like an ordinary human being who has attained this human form by some pious activity, just like another prince or a king. Okay, that we discussed. So the result is that that they don't get the results of their own sadhana, whether it is karma yoga, jnana yoga, or ashtanga yoga, whatever. So now we are going to discuss this 13 to 14 pure devotional service, where the Vigyan aspect will be described now. Okay, the Chit Shakti aspect means the Lord's devotional service. Okay, pure devotional service. Okay. महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिम आश्रिताः भजन्ति अनन्य मनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिम अव्ययम्. Okay, Mukund Patru, would you like to read?
Okay, Guruji. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the supreme personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible.
Yeah. So this is a very, very famous verse, and all of us should memorize. I think it should be there in a memorization also, this shloka. So, so here he is saying Mahatmana. Two. Two is used for contrast, but. So what is he contrasting with? Somebody can tell what is the contrast with now? Who was explained previously, just before this verse? Which person was explained?
Fools, Prabhuji.
Yeah, fools. Yeah, those who actually deride the form of the Lord as a human being. Yeah, so they are called as fools. So specifically, it is those persons who don't accept the personal form of the Lord. Okay. So in comparison, in contrast to them, now it is described about Mahatmas. Okay, what do these Mahatmas do? Mahatmas, Daivim Prakriti Mashrita. Their characteristics, their nature is what? They take shelter of the Daivim Prakriti. So the divine nature. So many times people ask, oh, you are always worshipping Krishna and Radharani. You so much tell about Radharani. But where is the name mention of Radharani in Bhagavad Gita? So here is the name mentioned. This Daivim Prakriti. This is none other than Radharani or Lakshmiji. Okay. So this is a proof that in Bhagavad Gita also such things appear. Okay, so that can be explained to them. Okay, so Mahatmas, they take shelter of the divine energy or divine nature, and by taking shelter, what they do? Bhajanti. How? Ananya Manaso. They do bhajana with an undeviated mind, Ananya Manasa. without deviation of mind, okay, without abstraction, without taking up to karma, jnana, yoga paths like that. And what happens to them? They already know kyatva. See, kyatva means knowing. Already they know. What? Having known something like that. What they know? Bhut adim avyayam. Avyayam means inexhaustible or something which is not destroyed. What is not destroyed? This creation. I am the origin of this creation. That they know. And they know Mam avyayam. Okay. Me as inexhaustible. So this is here. Okay. Mam avyayam. They know. They do bhajan of me, they take shelter of the Devi Prakriti, and they understand that Mam Avyam, I am inexhaustible, like that. Mahatmas, basically, this is the characteristics of Mahatma. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
But those men who attain greatness by unpredictable mercy of my devotees attain the nature of the devas, daivim prakritim, rather than asuras, and worship me in my human-like form.
Yeah, so another meaning of Devim Prakriti is coming from the word Devata. So they attain the nature of the Devatas. What is Devatas' nature? Somebody remembers? Prabhupada quotes this many times. What is the nature of the Devatas? Yes, Yamuna will ask for.
Easily.
Somebody raised hand. Yamuna will ask for, you raised hand?
Prabhuji can continue. It's okay. I'll tell afterwards him. After him. Someone was okay. Prabhuji, Prabhupada, like asuras means one who are like following the instructions of the Supreme Lord. Suras who are like, yeah, suras means who are in line with the instruction of the Supreme Lord.
Sorry,
And
I could
asuras
not hear. My internet was not proper. Yeah, can I repeat?
Yeah, Prabhuji, suras are those who are following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, who do not rebel against the Lord.
Okay.
I mean the demigods.
Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah, so Devatas are those who are not asuras, who are worshipper of the Supreme Lord. They are followers of the Supreme Lord. Okay. Yeah. So Vishnu Bhakta, basically. Vishnu Bhaktas are called Devatas. Okay. And Asuras Tad Viparya. Asuras are opposite to them. They are not Vishnu Bhaktas. Yes, Prajit.
Their minds do not dwell on such things as desires for jnana or karma, ananya manasa. By knowledge of my powers, maya tatam idam sarvam, they know that I am the cause of all the unlimited bodies, starting with Brahma, Bhutadim.
Yeah, basically, three lines are explained here. Second line was Devi Prakriti Mashrita. That second line is explained here of the verse. Then Ananya Manasa, Bhajanti Ananya Manasa. That third line is explained here. Okay, their minds do not dwell on such things as desire for jnana or karma, as I told. So whenever we understand, oh, determined bhakti, so that determined bhakti means what? Is no deviation to karma, jnana or yoga. That is the meaning. Not that determined bhakti means doing a lot of austerity. Okay. So this is the meaning of Ananya Manasa, undeviated bhakti, determined bhakti, Dridha Chetasa. All these words are used for this purpose. Okay, the devotees are not attracted to karma, jnana, and yoga. Not that one who does very good Nirjal Ekadashi, he is very determined devotee. No, that in maybe there in our speaking day-to-day life, we may speak to devotee like that. But that is not the meaning when Acharya speak like that. Okay, and then fourth line is explained here. Okay. that Gyatva Bhutadim Avyayam. We will explain further also. Yeah, please read.
They know that I am indestructible. Just a second, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Avyayam, since I have a body of Sachidananda, for understanding that I am worthy of worship, they should have at least this much knowledge of me. Knowing this Nyatva, they worship me.
Yeah, so if you remember in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, already Prabhupada told, those who are reading this Bhagavad Gita should have at least theoretical understanding that Krishna or Vishnu is God. So that's what here is being said, that there are people who are explained in shloka number 11 and 12. They consider human form to be not the form of the Lord. They deride the human form. But here is the explanation that in the human form, the body of the Lord is Satchidananda. At least this much knowledge that person should be having, and that is inexhaustible, indestructible, avyayam. It is not subject to the three modes. Knowing this, Kyatva, they worship me. Okay. Yeah. Yes, bro.
Then who respects you? Those who know me as a
You can read
Parabrahman.
this also.
Okay.
Baldev Devotion's
Baldev
so
Devotion's
devotee will
commentary.
know.
Okay. Then who respect you? Those who know me as the Parabrahman with a human form, whose minds have become enlarged and deepened by such a faith in me, Mahatmanaha, big-minded. Through devotee association, those who have no taste for other forms of the Lord, such as the one having 1,000 heads, though those are also my form, such a persons having taken shelter of my spiritual Swarupa, Daivam Prakritim, accepting with conviction, Nyatva, that I, with human form, am the cause of all living entities, the human as well as Brahma and Shiva, Bhutadim, and that I am eternal, Avyayam, serve me, Bhajanti. Their consciousness is deeply absorbed in me, in my human form alone, Ananya Manasa.
Yeah, so that's what he has explained. Baldev Devotion explained. Then who respects you? Because it was told that the fools deride me, they don't respect me, 11 and 12. So in contrast, he's saying, okay, then who respects you? So they are these person, those who are having such understanding about the Lord. Okay, and they are not attracted even to other forms, who are having 1,000 hands, like Mahavishnu, okay, Sahastra Shirsha Purusha, Sahastra Pada, not those forms. But they have taken shelter of my spiritual Swarupa, like the form of Krishna, Daivim Prakriti, or the shelter of Radharani. Accepting with conviction, Gyatva. What is the conviction? That this human form is the Lord Himself. Okay, like that. And they are deeply absorbed in me, in my human form alone. Okay, like that. Yes, yes, bro.
With now the commentary by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this effected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So that's what here again Prabhupada is saying, very important, that the person who has surrendered unto the Lord, he is already situated in divine nature. He is already situated in the Chit Shakti, internal energy. At least his faith. By faith, at least he is situated. He may be having some anartha, some conditioning, but he wants to give it up. Okay. And then he's saying he is not under the control of material nature. Okay. Then whose control is he? He is under the control of the Lord Himself, as we discussed earlier, that even for sadhaka, devotees, their karmas, their happiness, pleasure, or suffering, whatever, they are coming in their lives by the arrangement of the Lord for their advancement. Okay. So their karmas are not coming by the laws of nature. Okay. Yeah, so that is what is explained. Okay, they become freed from the control of the material nature. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul developed through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna.
So what is Prabhupada speaking in this first line? Which point of the verse he is speaking? Yeah. Yeah, somebody can tell what is Prabhupada telling
Daiva
here?
Prakriti Ashrita.
No, he does not divert his attention. What is he saying about?
Ananya Manasa.
Ananya Manasa.
Ananya Manasa.
Yes, he is Ananya Manasa. Correct. He is not having any diversion to karma or jnana or ashtanga yoga like that. Okay, he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the supreme original person. So this knowing is that Yatva Bhutadim Avyayam. Okay, so this is Ananya Manasa. Okay, and he knows perfectly well. So that is Gyatva. What, that Krishna is the original person. Bhutadim Avyayam, the cause of all causes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, such a so again now Prabhupada is saying this very important point. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas or pure devotees. Okay, what is the meaning? This is same thing as we understood earlier. How one gains bhakti? One gains bhakti by coming in contact with other devotees, by getting the Agya Sukriti basically. So that same thing Prabhupada is saying here, that when in many lifetimes one receives the Agya Sukriti by coming in touch with other great souls, then he also becomes a devotee. Like that. Okay. And again, Prabhupada is saying, who are not even attracted to Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. Okay. So, as we understand, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to spread the Raganuga Bhakti. So, for that Raganuga Bhakti, he says that one should be attracted to the Vraj Krishna, obviously. So, that is two-armed form of Krishna. So, not even to the form of Lord Narayana in the Vaikuntha, like that, or even to the form of Lord Ram. Okay, like that. Okay. And then one should be attracted to the form of Lord Sri Krishna, and that too in Vrindavan. And there are 5 different rasas which are present. So all of us will read in detail in Bhakti Sam Sindhu. So in the 5 rasas, one can worship the 200 form of Krishna, like that. Yes, bro.
They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of demigod or of human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unswearing service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, again same thing, Ananya Manasa, basically undeviated. Ananya Manasa. Okay. Without deviation, like that. And they are not attracted to other features of Krishna. Okay, Krishna means which feature? Braj Krishna. Okay, so one may ask, oh Prabhu, why so many forms of Lord are there? Narsimha is there, then Vamana is there, then Varaha Dwadashi we had recently, then so many other forms are there. Why you are saying only Krishna? Right? So many forms, we do fasting, we do worship also. No. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, that we have to see. Okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give something very special. Okay. Anarpita charim chirat karuneya avtirna kalau samarpayitam unnat ujjvala rasam bhakti shriyam. So he came to something very specific. So that was not offered for many Brahma's lives. Many years of Brahmas. Correct. So Anarpita Charim Shirat Karuneya Avtirna Kalau, in the Kali Yuga he appeared to give. And what he came to give? So that he says that Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharan. Okay, this Raga Marga he came to do Prachar. And 2 things basically. This was the second thing. And first point was, he said in that verse that prema rasa niryasa korite aswadan, to relish the prema rasa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he tried to understand what are the emotions that Radharani enjoys. Okay. And then second thing was to propagate the Raga Marga. Okay. Preaching of that. Okay. Where is this shloka? This shloka is there in Adi Lila, chapter 4, shloka number 15, 16. Yeah. Okay. So I think we can go and just read that. Most important. So that we can understand what is the context. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhupada, please read. Okay, I'll recite the shloka. You can read the translation. Prem rasa niryasa karite aswadan, ragamarga bhakti loke karite pracharan, rasika shekhara Krishna parama karuna, ei dui hetu hete ikshara udgama. So this section basically, Adi Lila, chapter 4, shloka 15-16, is Lord Krishna thinking in his mind before coming as the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is thinking something in his mind. What is he thinking? Please read.
The Lord's desire to appear was born from two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus, he is known as supremely jubilant, and as the most merciful of all.
Yeah, so Krishna is known like this. Rasika Shekhara. He is known as that Rasika Shekhara. Krishna. Krishna is known. And what he is known as? Parama Karuna. And then here he said, Yei Dui Hetu. For these two reasons only, Haite happens. Ichara Udgama. The awakening of his desire. Okay, birth of the desire. What are the two reasons? Dui Hetu. What are the two reasons he is saying? First is Prema Rasa Niryas. What is that? The mellow of love of God, which is the essence of everything. Karite aswadan, tasting. That is first, as I told you. Second is raga marga bhakti. That is the path of spontaneous attraction. Loke, in the world. Karite pracharam, to spread. So shloka is also very simple. To spread the raga marga bhakti, and that raga marga bhakti, as we will read in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is only towards Vraja Krishna. Okay, like that. And in the 5 rasas. Okay. This one to be shown that. Yeah. So the devotee attracted to the two-handed form of Krishna and not to the other features of Krishna. Okay. But one may say, no. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, there was Murari Gupta, there were Anupam, who were attracted to the Lord Ram's form. Yeah, they were attracted because they are Nitya Siddhas. They are eternally attracted. They are eternally devotees of Lord Ram. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even to Venkat Bhatt or others, he tried to explain them the glories of Lord Shri Krishna, but he did not force them because they are already eternally associates of Lord Shri Krishna, of their respective Lord Ram or Lord Vishnu, whatever. But those who are devotees who are cultivating Krishna consciousness, they are trying to get attracted to some form of the Lord, can think, okay, which form of the Lord I want to worship, which form of the Lord I want to serve in the spiritual world. So that Prabhupada is saying, yeah, they want to serve which form of the Lord? For of a two-armed Krishna. Okay, like that. That Prabhupada is specifying here. Okay, so this is 14th shloka, again continuing the characteristics of the same Mahatmas. Satatam Kir. Yes,
sorry
Mataji.
to interrupt you, but I have a question regarding 9.13. Can
Ah,
I
yes.
ask right now?
I was just thinking, Mati, 13 and 14 na, together is one section of pure devotees.
Okay.
Is it okay if we take after 14?
Yes. Yes.
Surely
Yes.
we'll take. Yeah. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dृढ़व्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या nityayukta upasate. Okay. Somebody tried to read who has not read yesterday. Yamuna Vilas Prabhu, you would like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can.
Yeah.
Translation. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So these are again further characteristics of Mahatmas, continuing what they do. Understanding that Lord is the source of all the creation, He is aware, He is aksharical, inexhaustible, and then having taken shelter of the Daivin Prakriti, okay, like being Ananya Manasa, Ananya Chetaha. So, what are the further characteristics of such Mahatmas? Satatam, constantly, okay, what they are doing? Chanting my glories, Kirtayanto, Mam, Yatantascha, and they do endeavor, Yatan. Yatan, there is word, I think in Marathi also it should be there, Hindi also it is there, Yatan. Okay, Yatantaha, they fully endeavor, okay, without getting deviated to karma, jnana, and yoga paths. That is the meaning of full endeavor, okay. Etantascha dृढ़व्रताः, with determination. And what else they do? Namasyantascha, they offer obeisances. Okay, who are these people? Maam bhaktya, they are my devotees. Previously, Krishna never used this term, Maam Bhaktya, nor for demigod worshippers, nor in the first 6 chapters anywhere that this yogi is my devotee, or this jnani is my devotee, or this karmi is my devotee. No, here only he is using Maam Bhaktya, this pure devotional service practitioner. He is my devotee. Why? What else he does? Nitya Yukta. What is proper translation? He is Yukta, he is perpetually engaged. Nitya Yukta. Upasate. In what he is engaged? In my worship. He is engaged in my worship, like that. So, first is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, they do. Second is they do Yatana for the Dridhavrata Bhakti. And third thing they do is they offer me obeisances. They are my devotees. They offer me they offer me obeisances. And what else? They are Nityukta. They worship. How? Constantly being engaged only in me, like that. Okay. Yeah, so one more important thing is sometimes the devotees they take this word kirtanto from here and they think only chanting or sankirtan is what is emphasized by Lord. Not like that. Okay, so this is like one limb of the bhakti, which is surely very important, but it represents all other limbs of bhakti. Okay. Like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So these all things are represented by this one word. One should not take it that, oh no, no, only Kirtan is told by the Lord. That is not the meaning here. Okay. So as one is attracted to different forms of the service to the Lord, different ways of serving the Lord, one can worship the Lord in that way. The point is that he should be Satata. Okay. His goal is to become always engaged. Okay. And as we understand that for sadhakas, this word satatam doesn't mean at every moment. Okay. For sadhaka, it means daily. Okay. Daily is equal to satatam. Because at the level of sadhakas, we Hare Krishna. My voice was coming or not?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, Lord, you heard last point.
Sadhaka means
Sadhaka means?
daily we have to watch it.
Yeah. Sadhaka means the word satatam refers to daily because the sadhakas have anartha. And because of that anartha, what happens? His ananyata is not there. His one-pointedness, not one-pointedness. There is other desire which are coming in his heart, and he may not be always able to remember Krishna. So when that anarthas go away sufficiently, okay, chet eter anaviddam sthitam, what is that? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. Almost anarthas are destroyed, then one reaches nishtha. Then there is a steady practice. Okay. The anarthas are reduced to such an extent that it's not disturbing him in his steady practice. That is the meaning. Then after nishtha, then he goes ahead. When more anarthas are destroyed, then he reaches to the stage of bhava. Okay. There at the stage of bhava, then he has avyartha kalatvam. Okay, that is one of the symptoms. Avyartha. Kalatvam. Means not even a moment he wastes. Okay, that is the stage of bhava. Okay, so that cannot be imitated at the stage of a sadhaka. Okay, sadhaka cannot imitate. So for them, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained this in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, that for a sadhaka, satatam means daily. It's not every moment. Okay. So let's see what he has to say. Yeah, who was reading? Yamuna Das Prabhu.
In the last verse, it was mentioned that they worship me. What
Yeah,
type of
Vishwanath
worship
Thakur's
do they
commentary.
perform?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
In the last verse, it was mentioned that they worship me. What type of worship do they perform? They worship always Satatam, not as in Karma Yoga, which is dependent on suitable time, place, person, and purity for its execution. The Smriti says, Na desha niyamas tatra na kala niyamas tata, nochistadau nisedo asti Sri Harer namni labdaka. For one eager for the name of Hari, there are no restrictions of time, place, or impurity. Vishnu
Yeah.
Dharma.
So where was it mentioned in the last verse that they worship me? Where was it said in the last verse? Somebody can identify?
Bhajantyam manya, so bhajantyam anyam
Bhajanti.
also.
Correct. Bhajana. Bhajan word was there. Correct. So that bhajan refers to worshiping. Yeah. And what type of worship they do? They worship always. Okay. So what is the meaning of that? Not as in Karma Yoga, which is dependent on suitable time, place, person, purity of its for its execution. So Bhakti can be sarvada sarvakalatvam, like that. It can be executed at all times, at all places. Narayana parasarve nakutaschana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu apitulya artha darshina. So Lord Shiva says this in the context of while Chitraketu Maharaj was cursed. So he says swarga apavarga narkeshu, wherever one may be, one can perform bhakti. Okay, for that proof is given that how one can perform bhakti at any place, at any time, at any circumstance. Okay, there is no restriction for time, place, or impurity like that. Yes, Prabhu.
Just as just as poor householders strive for money at the door of a wealthy man in order to support their families, my devotees seek out yatanti, the assembly of devotees, in order to obtain devotional processes like chanting. Attaining that, they repeatedly recite the scriptures teaching bhakti. They have strict rules for themselves, Vrata, thinking, I must do this number of rounds of chanting, this many obeisances, this much service. They offer their obeisances.
Yeah, see, very nicely Vishwanath Guru has explained That just like a person who is poor, he wants money, he goes to the family of wealthy person. Similarly, devotees who are my devotees, in comparison, he's saying they are doing yatan. What kind of yatan they do? They do yatan like this only. Poor person approaching a wealthy person. So these devotees, they understand that there are greater devotees who have bhakti in their heart. So they approach those devotees. Okay, the assembly of devotees in order to obtain devotional process like chanting. Okay, satatam kirtayanto mam, processes like chanting means what? All other limbs are included. Okay. So they understand this is their wealth. Correct. So like there is a song. Dhana Mora Nityananda, Pati Mora Gaurachandra, Prana Mora Yugala Kishora. So he says Dhana, what is his Dhana? Nityananda. Now we are Nityananda today. Appearance day. Yeah. So Dhana Mora Nityananda, he is saying. So that is our wealth. Yeah. So and then attaining that wealth, they repeatedly recite what they do. Namasyantasya mam bhaktya nityukta upasate. All these things they do. Okay, satatam kirtayanto mam, like that. And how they do? They not do in a way that, okay, whenever our mind will say, whenever I feel like doing, not like that. So these strict rules they follow for that. If they have taken a vow of 16 rounds, they will without fail do 16 rounds until unless it is like something very lifetime emergency situation like that. Okay, they complete their round, 16 rounds. Okay, like for that it said Dhrida Vrata, they are determined. Okay, they follow this Ekadashi. They don't eat grains on Ekadashi. Okay, like that. So I must do this number of rounds. Whatever they have committed, either the worship of the deity at home or offering some services to the temple. Okay, whatever they have done commitment, they tried their best to commit. Okay, or if they have registered for Bhakti Shastri courses like this, then they commit. They come to for every possible class, then try to hear attentively. So all these things are included in them. Okay, so they offer these many obeisances, like Raghunath Das Goswami. We understand that how he would offer 1,000 obeisances to the Lord, 2,000 obeisances to the devotees every day, not in a year. Okay, so whatever service they have committed, they take care that they try to be best of their commitment they can keep. Okay, until unless there is some issue of health or some other emergency situation like that. Okay, so that they understand it. They offer their obeisances. Yes, Prabhu.
The word cha indicates that they also perform all the other process of bhakti, such as hearing and serving the lotus feet, which are not mentioned in the verse. The desire to be in eternal association with me, Nitya Yukta. There is a rule that desire can be expressed by the past tense. Here, the past tense expresses the present condition of desiring. Singing about me, they worship me. This parallel construction indicates that the singing and other acts are their form of worship. Thus, there is no fault in repetition of the word Mam.
Yeah, very nice commentary here. Vishwanath Chakravarti has said actually very important. We should hear this attentively actually. So because these shlokas are like pure bhakti shlokas, I have highlighted many portions of these purports. Otherwise, I would have directly gone to Prabhupada's. So very important point he's saying. Okay, the word cha is mentioned. Where is the word cha mentioned in the shloka?
Cha apyane.
Yatantascha.
Jnana yajnena cha apyane.
Vedantasya.
Yatantascha.
Yeah, namasyantascha. Very acha, there also, yeah, correct. Two places it is there, yeah. Yatantascha, namasyantascha. Yeah, so the word cha indicates they also perform all the other processes of bhakti, such as hearing. Okay. So as I was telling, they perform all the other processes of bhakti, such as hearing. So that kirtayanto, kirtayanto, okay, that kirtayanto is representing. Okay, all other forms of bhakti. Okay, so we should not take it just one limb and then make it the whole and soul. Okay, like that. So many times devotees say, yeah, chanting is the most important. Obviously, chanting is most important. But what is said here is it's a overall activity of devotional service, and it's more about being more engaged, satatam engaged, always engaged, or daily engaged, rather than being engaged in only one limb. Okay, like that. So they desire to be eternal association with me, Nitya Yukta. Okay, with which form? With the two-handed form, like that is being explained from the last verse. Okay, singing about me, they worship me. Namasyantascha Mahamad. Yeah, there is no fault in repetition. Yes, Prabhu. Baldev, the questions.
Two verses now explain the devotional process. At all times, without regard for purity of time and place, they glorify me. They worship me by loudly chanting the sweet nectar of my names related to my auspicious qualities and activities, such as Govinda, Govardhandari, and
Mm,
Govardhandari.
mm.
Going to temples, housing my forms, they fall down sick like rods on the dusty earth, full of devotion. Mam namasyanta bhaktya. The expression singing my glories, they worship me, means that the processes such as singing about me are worship of me. Being structurally in opposition in the sentence, thus the repetition of the word mam is not redundant.
Okay, so yeah, this is one very important thing. At all times, satatam, without regard for purity of time, place, and circumstance, means they don't think, oh, how am I in this contaminated state or contaminated place? How can I chant the holy name? How can I read the miss? Obviously, one should try his best to be in a pure state. That will come in the shloka patram pushpam. So when that is being explained, it is said that one should try to be in the best of his pure state to offer the worship or chant the holy name in the Brahma Murta. All that are recommendations, but they are not rules. Okay, there are some recommendations for doing chanting of the holy name and other forms of bhakti, but they are never as the rules. Okay, there are no hard and fast rules, but there are recommendations. So one should try to follow the recommendation as far as possible. But if there is a circumstance where it is not possible, like sometimes we may be traveling in the train, we may not have taken bath in the morning, then we can chant the holy name. One should not say, no, no, how can I chant the holy name like that? That is not the rule. So they worship me in what forms? By loudly chanting, Kirtayanto, the sweet nectar of my names, like Govinda, Govardhandari. Yeah. They offer worship to the forms of the deity. Okay, and they offer obeisances. All these things are explained. They sing my glories. They worship me. So two times the word me has come. Mom. Okay. Yes, bro.
The word cha indicates that other unmentioned processes such as hearing, recitation of prayers, and deity worship are included.
Mm.
They are very diligent in discerning the real nature of my form and qualities along with like-minded devotees, Yatanta. They have strict vows, not failing to observe fasts on Ekadashi, Janmashtami, and other sacred days, Judavrata. They desire an eternal relationship with me in the future, Nityayukta.
Yeah, see, very, very important points actually. These 4 points, each one is very important. So basically, this shloka, wherever pure devotional service is told, all commentaries are important. We should see very attentively, try to follow them. So here he is saying the word cha, two times which came. It represents, as I told earlier, represents the all other forms of bhakti, 9 limbs of bhakti, like that. Okay. So any other place also, if the one thing is being focused, one should understand that yeah, it is representing all other forms. It's not that that form only is the highest. Okay, one should not never say like that. Just 1 minute. Hare Krishna. You able to hear me, no? Yeah. So they are very diligent in discerning the real nature of my form and qualities along with like-minded devotees. Yeah. So this is very, very important. So this Vishwanath Chadakur has explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam also. Sajati. devotees. So Jatiya, like-minded devotees. Okay. So we have some inclinations in bhakti. We should try to find out devotees who have similar inclinations so that our aspiration to serve the Lord increases more and more in that direction. Okay. So many times devotees have this question, how can I associate with all the devotees? Association with all the devotees in the same level may not be possible. We have to understand. There may be some devotees whom we can associate only from far. We have to respect them from a distance because they may be opposite-minded devotees. They are also good, very good devotees. They also chant 16 rounds. They also do Mangalarati. They also do everything. But they may be opposite-minded devotees. So we can respect them from far. There may be some devotees who may be neutral to our likings. So for them, we can associate neutrally. Okay. We may not share our internal desires or heartfelt desires to them. But there may be some very few devotees, one or two in our life, who may be very, very like-minded and with whom we can share everything. So they are called here as Sajatiya devotees. Okay. And what is the meaning of the word Yatanta? Is to take the association of such devotees. Is called Yatanta. So if sometimes we feel, no, I should associate with all the devotees in this world. No, that is not a instruction given here. Not all devotees association. Okay. Obviously, not intimate association of all devotees, but intimate association may be possible only for like-minded. So dadati pratigrinati, guhyam akhyati prichati, bhunkte bhojayate chava, shadvidir bhakti lakshana, priti lakshana. So these things may not be possible with all devotees, and one should not try to do also with all. Okay. So that was very important point also. Then see here, they have very strict vows, not failing to observe fasts on Ekadashi, Janmashtami, or other sacred days like Balram Purnima, Nityanand Triyodashi. And what is the word used for that? Dridha Prataha. Means they are very determined in that way. So this is another meaning of the determined word. Okay. And one should not say, no, sometimes we have to be practical. Okay. In the name of being practical, one is saying that he is not able to fast on Ekadashi without grains. Okay, there are so many levels of fasting also on Ekadashi, right? One is somebody is able to do, his health allows, permits, then one can do Nirjala Ekadashi. If not, then at least one should do with water. If not that, at least one should do with fruits. And if not that, at least one should not take grains. But one cannot say that, no, I have to be practical. And being practical means I will take grains on the days of Ekadashi. So that is not being practical. Bhakti is actually most practical because so many levels of fasting is already given. Okay, one should not tell, no, I have to practical means I have to break the rule itself. In the name of practicality, we cannot break the very, very important rules of bhakti. Okay, there are some rules which are lower compared to the other rules which are higher, like Govinda, who was a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He broke the rule. When he had to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he crossed the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to enter Gambhira, to massage him. He broke the rule that one should not cross over the Lord. But he understood the higher service is to do massage to the Lord. But when he had to take his own food, he never crossed the Lord's body. So one can break some rules for following higher rules, but one should not break the higher rules for following lower rules. That is not the rule of bhakti. Okay. So that's what is explained here. This is very important point. One should not say, no, bhakti is not practical. I have to be practical. One says, yeah, I have to take many times unoffered food. No, we'll discuss that in Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. What is meaning of actually offering something to the Lord or being determined in bhakti or offering number of obeisances, worshipping the deity at home. So many things are there in that. So it's very, very practical. Bhakti itself is practical. And Lord also is very practical. Bhavgrahi Janardana. He accepts the emotion of the devotee. He doesn't accept the object as much as the emotions with which it is offered. Okay. So bhakti is most practical path. Okay. That we have to understand. And then fourth is also, he's saying they desire an eternal relationship with me in the future. Okay. So a devotee meditates, he thinks about, okay, in what form of the Lord I desire to have an eternal relationship. Okay. And how should I serve him? Whether like Prabhupada used to tell in many of his lectures that one should try to follow in the footsteps of Mother Yashoda or the Sakhas like Sridama, Sudama, or the Gopis like Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha, to worship the Lord in such eternal relationship. Okay, so we have to think about that. Okay, if I want to go to spiritual world, so if I die, then will I go to spiritual world? That is one thing. If I go to spiritual world, if I die and go, what will I do there? If one has not done any sadhana for doing such service in the spiritual world, or meditated on doing such kind of service to the Lord's form, so particular form in the spiritual world, one cannot attain it. Nothing happens just by chance. One has to pray for it, one has to think about it, one has to do the sadhana for it. Okay. So more details we'll discuss in Bhakti Samri Sindhu about that. Okay, so that's very, very important from Bhaktivedanta Bhushan. Now we'll read from Prabhupada's commentary. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. The symptoms are described here. The Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, see, every line is actually very, very important here. Prabhupada is also saying. So Prabhupada, when giving lecture, many times he would speak about some kind of people who are given the title Mahatma. We cannot speak personally. We don't have qualification like Prabhupada. He would take names also and speak. But we have to understand, yeah, many people in this metal world are given the name title Mahatma. Okay, but one cannot become Mahatma just by putting a rubber stamp on their name, because there are characteristics of such Mahatma. Satatam kirtayanto mam. So always engaged in chanting. Yatantascha dridhavrta, namasyantascha mam bhaktya. Okay, all these things are there. So he has no other business. Okay, he has no ananya cheta. He is ananya cheta. Okay, he is always satatam engaged in glorification of the Lord. He is not an impersonalist. He doesn't deride the human form of the Lord. Or that is my word, impersonalist means he is not attracted to Brahman feature of the Lord. He is attracted only to the personal feature. Which feature? Like Govardhan Dhari, it was told in Vishwanath Thakur's commentary. Giridhari, like that. So when the question of glorification is there, one has to glorify Supreme Lord. So Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. So all this one should glorify. Okay. So hearing them, hearing about them, speaking about them, okay, thinking about them, all these things. So Mahatma is attached to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. Yes, bro.
Such a Mahatma, only the blue one, right?
Yes, bro.
Highlighted. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the sorry. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate end the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental rasas.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. Yeah. So the five rasas, Shantaras, Dasiras, Sakhiras, Vatsalya, and Madhuri. So he has firm Dridhavrata, firm determination to achieve the ultimate end of association of Supreme Lord. What is that ultimate end? That is prema. In one of the five rasas. Yeah, read.
To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, everything in the service of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord.
Yeah.
One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live in this life in devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world. He can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul.
Yeah, so very important. Prabhupada is saying the austerities in Bhakti Yoga are not so hard as there in Jnana or in Ashtanga Yoga. That is the point. Not that there is no austerity only. No. Prabhupada told in the previous slide, what he told, such fasting on the certain days like Ekadashi or Janmashtami, like those things are there. Okay, like chanting some determined number of rounds, 16 rounds at least. Okay, offering obeisances to the Lord. These all things are there. These all austerities are there, but they are not so severe. Okay, so one should do all these things, whatever is as per the capacity possible, and under the guidance of this expert spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada or their followers. So, and many times we hear, no, actually, as sannyasi, they are more advanced, they can go back to Godhead very quickly. They are already at the stage of prema. Anybody in sannyas? No, not like that. That such recommendations are not there in Shastra. So, Prabhupada saying either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari. Yeah, sometimes we hear a brahmachari is very advanced because he has given up his family. No, not like that. Okay. These are all the systems of varna and ashrama. Okay. So varna and ashrama system doesn't have too much do with the pure bhakti. Okay. They are all external. What did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say about this varna ashrama system? He said, Eho Bahya. These are all external. They are not that they are not important. Someone has to be situated in one of the external forms. But the main thing is what is the devotion in their heart. So by seeing the external dress or external color or external appearance, one should not try to decide how much one is advanced. Okay, kindly don't do that. And if someone is telling you, please ask them what is the reference in the Shastra. Okay. And then what Prabhupada is saying, he can perform anywhere in the world. He can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma or great soul. By doing Satatam Kirtanam Tamam, he can become a Premi Bhakta, basically. He's saying already a devotee, but he can attain Prema by doing these activities itself. Not that he has to do something else. That is the meaning. Okay. Then, okay, one more point here. Sometimes devotees ask, okay, Prabhu, you are saying external, we should not see. Then how can we see the internal? Can we see inside how much bhakti is there? Correct? We cannot see. No. We can see what is there, what is the amount of bhakti. So it is explained in Madhurya Kadamini by Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. There are 5 symptoms of a person who is there at the stage of Nishtha. What are the symptoms? First is he will not have sleepiness during japa, kirtan, or Shravanam. Okay, it's actually Japa, Shravanam, and Kirtanam. Okay, in the order it is. So Japa, one can be more sleepy. Shravanam, hearing Bhagavatam, one can be less sleepy. Kirtanam, if one can be least sleepy. But somebody is sleeping in Kirtan also, that means there are too many anarthas. That is the meaning. Okay, so sleepiness, these are external manifestation of anartha in the heart. Okay, that is in Sanskrit you might have heard called laya. Then there is second aspect called distraction. While doing bhakti activity, one is distracted. Like doing japa, shravanam, or kirtanam, one is distracted. Okay. So that distraction is less, that person is more advanced. That is what Srila Vishwanath Thakur says. Okay. That is called laya, there is vikshepa, then there is apratipatti. Apratipatti means indifference. Okay. So indifference means, bro, okay, I'm not feeling sleepy also. I'm not distracted also, but still I don't want to chant my rounds. I still don't want to hear Bhagavatam. Still I don't want to do Kirtan. I still don't want to engage in any form of bhakti. I just want to watch some video, some Instagram. Not Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, but Instagram or whatever, like that. So there is called indifference. Okay. So that is external manifestation of anartha in the heart. Then there is what? Kashaya. Kashaya means manifestation of anger, greed, lust. All these are manifest 6 anarthas externally. Okay. Not for the purpose of service, but for the purpose of sense enjoyment. Okay. And there is rasaswad, attraction to material objects. Okay. So more is a attraction to material objects for the personal sense gratification, not for service. For service, Prabhupada wanted as much as money as possible. So that we cannot count as anartha. Okay. Not for service purpose, but for personal enjoyment, personal sense gratification. one wants to accumulate the material sense objects. Then it is a symptom of external manifestation of internal anartha. Okay. So these 5 symptoms are a person who is not at the stage of nishtha. Somebody who has attained nishtha, he will not have these 5 symptoms. And then even higher, somebody may ask, oh Prabhu, somebody doesn't have this, then what are the higher symptoms? That is the symptoms of bhava, that is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami himself. So first is manasunyata, he will be utterly humble. Avyartha kalatvam, as we told earlier, no wasting time. You can see many devotees who maybe they are here, they are doing some prajalpa, nothing related to their bhakti, but they will be engaged many hours in doing that. Okay. Priti tad vasti sthale, living at dham, means attraction to living at dham. Not that he is always living at dham, he is a very high premi bhakta or bhava bhakta, not like that. So like this 9 symptoms are explained of a bhava bhakta who is at the stage of bhava. So advancement can be seen as per the external manifestation of the internal advancement of bhakti. Okay, but not based on varna and ashrama. Please don't do that. Hare Krishna. So we just completed this section of pure devotional service. Yeah, if you have any questions, we can take. So these are very important verses. I gave so much time to it. That's why almost 1 hour. Okay. So if there are any questions, yes, Pranamati.
Yes, Prabhuji. In 9.13, you said Daivim Prakritim. So Daivim Prakritim is Daivi Prakriti is Radharani, right?
Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi,
Mother Lakshmi Radharani. So I was hearing to lecture of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu upon text I have brought in front of me. 2.72 Esham Brahmi Sthiti Partha Menam Prapti Vinubhuti. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji quoted that here Brahmi Sthiti means Radharani. So here Daivim Prakriti and their Brahmi Sthiti. So can we say that at both the places Radharani is being described in Bhagavad Gita?
Yeah. Can we say? Yeah, you have to see the verse. I don't remember the meaning of that verse now. Yeah.
I have that verse in front of me.
So it can be said, Prabhuji said. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else has any question? Okay. So we'll go to next section. So 15 to 19. This is another section where 3 types of jnanis are mentioned. Okay. And there is discussion about what kind of worship they do. Okay. Jnani yajnena chapi anne jananto mam upasate ekatvena pritaktena bahuda vishwato mukham. Deepali Mataji, please read.
Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form.
Thank you. So, yeah, now here 3 types of jnanis are being explained here. They are not the Mayavadis. Okay. Mayavadis are those who deride the human form of the Lord, or they don't accept the personal form of the Lord. They are not these categories. They are jnanis, means impersonalists, who accept the form of the Lord like that. Yeah. So what he is saying here is jnana chapi anye. Anye means what? Others. Who are the others? So there are categories explained from 11 to 14. 13, 14 was pure devotional service, Ananya Bhakta. And 11, 12 was these Mayavadis. Correct. Now, apart from that, there are some other people who are explained in this 15th to 19th verses. Okay. And what is said? Who engage in the sacrifice of cultivation of knowledge. Jnana yajnana. That is first. And they worship the Supreme Lord as one without a second. Okay. As diverse in many and in universal form. So this is the second type of worshipper, and the universal form worshipper are this third. Or here we can say Jnana Yajnana Chapi Anye Yajanto Mam Upasate. Okay. So this is not a type. Ekatvena. So the Jnana Yajnana means what? Those who are Jnanis. Okay, like that we can understand. They are Jnanis. What are the three types? Ekatvena, Prithaktvena, this is second. Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. This is third. Okay, like this we can segregate. So Ekatvena, see what Prabhupada has translated. In oneness, they think I and the Lord, we are one. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means what? I am one with the Lord. That is one meaning. Other meaning is I am one in quality with the Lord. That's what Prabhupada explains. So they consider no, quality, quantity, everything, I am only one. That is not Mayavad exactly. Okay. Mayavad means he considers that Lord's form, human form, is made up of three modes, made up of Maya. This person doesn't think like that. He thinks, no, he is spiritual. I am also spiritual, but we both are one only. Like that. So this is in oneness. This first type. Then Prithaktvena means what? In duality. Okay, that we'll read in the purport. And Bauda Vishwata Mukham, worshipper of the universal form. Okay, like that. Okay, yes, please read.
Thus, in
Vishwanath
this
Chalakar.
thus, in this chapter and the previous chapter, the Ananya Bhakta, also called the Mahatma, is shown to be superior to the other devotees, such as the one who approaches the Lord to rid himself of suffering. Now the Lord shows three other types of devotees who
Yeah,
have...
this was who? Earlier it was told, na? Previous chapter. What was told? Arto Jigyasu Artharthi. Okay, that he is referring. Arto Jigyasu and Artharthi. That Prabhupada will explain in his comment, in his purport. Okay, so thus, in this chapter and previous chapter, the Ananya Bhakta, also the Mahatma, is shown to be superior to other devotees, such as one who approaches the Lord to get rid. These other devotees are these people. Arto Jigyasu Artharthi. Yes, please read.
Now the Lord shows three other types of devotees who have not been mentioned previously, who are inferior to the previously mentioned ones, those who worship themselves, those who worship pratika or secondary forms, and those who worship the Vishwarupa.
Yeah, so now three other types are mentioned. Okay, so who are these three types of Gyanis? These three Gyanis who have not been mentioned really, who are inferior. Please see this. This is very important. Inferior to previously mentioned ones. Who are the previously mentioned ones? Arto Jigyasu Artharthi. Pradhani Bhut Bhakta. Okay. Okay, so these are Pradhani Bhut Bhakta. So these are higher than Gyanis mentioned here. Okay. So what are these three types? So first is those who worship themselves. This is first. Those who worship some pratik or secondary forms like demigods. Okay, demigods they worship. And those who worship the Vishwarupa, universal form. This is third type. Yes, please read Prabhupada's purport.
But there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into three. First, he who worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord. Second, he who concocts some forms of the Supreme Lord and worships that. And third, he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worships that. Out of the above three, the lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be the monists, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and is in this mentality they worship themselves.
Yeah, so this is first category explained now. They worship themselves. Ekatvena. Ekatva. Worship. This is the first one. He worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord. Yeah.
This is also a type of God worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body, but are actually spiritual soul. At least such a sense of predominant. Generally, the impersonalists worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The
So
second
yeah, again Prabhupada is saying here impersonalists, they are not Mayavadis. Okay. Yeah, please continue.
The second class includes the worshippers of the demigods, those who by imagination consider any form to be the form of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, this is second. So till now, here first was explained. Yeah. Now
And the
third.
third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. They consider the universe to be the supreme organism or entity and worship that. The universe is also a form of the Lord.
Yeah, so they imagine the form of the Lord in the universe, like they consider the sun and moon as the eyes of the Lord. Okay, so the different planetary systems as the navel of the Lord, the trees are like the hairs of the Lord. Okay, the wind is like the inhalation of the Lord and exhalation of the Lord. So like this, they try to see everything in the universe as the Lord. But the devotee's meditation is not like this. Okay, devotee's meditation is okay, the Lord's form in the spiritual world, not in connection with the material world, like that. Okay. Okay, so now he is going to explain this third type. Who was there? Vishwato Mukham. Bahuda Vishwato Mukham, the third type of Jnani. That he is going to explain in 3 verses, 16 to 19. Aham kratur aham yagya swadha aham aushadham mantro aham evagyam aham agnir aham hutam. Yeah, Harsh Prabhu, please read.
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering.
Yeah. So this is for this third type, the Vishwato Mukham. They see everything in the universe as the Lord himself. So for them, this is okay. So they, for their practice of sadhana, they have to do this. They have to see everything as the form of the Lord. You read this?
Prabhuji?
Read the purport.
Srila Prabhupada. The Vedic sacrifice known as Jyotistama is also Krishna, and he is also the Mahayagya mentioned in the Smriti. The oblations offered to the Pitrilok or the sacrifice performed to please the Pitrilok, considered as a kind of drug in the form of clarified butter, is also Krishna. The mantras chanted in this connection are also Krishna, and many other commodities made with milk products for offering in the sacrifices are also Krishna.
Yeah, so these are not meditation of devotees. Okay, devotees they meditate. Yeah, so whatever I'm offering, like milk products, it's for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna as a human being or as a person, as a son of Mother Yashoda, he is going to accept this. Shyam Sundar Krishna, Gopijana Vallabha, that form is going to accept. Okay, he is not thinking like this. Oh yes, this milk is a part and parcel of Krishna, or this is energy of Krishna, and then I'm offering energy back to the energetic. He is not thinking like that. Okay, devotee meditation is different. Yes, Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pravitram omkara riksam yajurevacha. Okay, Prasanna Gopal Puji, please read.
Yes, sorry. A translation. I am the father of this universe, mother, the support and grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier and the syllable Om. I am also Rug, the Sama and the Yajurveda.
Yeah. So again, there are many other things which are mentioned about the Jnani who is worshipping the Vishwarup form. He is trying to see the various objects of this world again as the form of the Lord. So these are another set of things. Yeah, please read.
Srila Prabhupada. The entire cosmic manifestations, moving and non-moving, are manifested by different activities of Krishna's energy. In the material existence, we create different relationships with the different living entities who are nothing but Krishna's marginal energy. Under the creation of Prakriti, some of them appear as our father, mother, grandfather, creator, etc. But actually, they are parts and parcels of Krishna.
Yeah, see, very, very important point actually. Prabhupada is saying that how one can see being in a family life, because everybody has family. Okay. So how one can see the family members. So he's saying every one of them are parts and parcels of Krishna. Okay. So they are all living entities who appear to be our father, but they are nothing but Krishna. Means they are all sent by Krishna. Okay, so this meditation is not exactly like those of the Jnanis being explained here. Prabhupada is taking little devotional purport. Okay, he sees everything in his life is arranged by Krishna, devotee. Like that he is saying. Okay, so that is the thought process here. Yeah, read this too.
In all the Vedic mantras, the word Om called Pranava is a transcendental sound vibration and is also Krishna. And because in all the hymns of the four Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Rug, and Atharva, the Pranava or Omkara is very prominent. It is understood to be Krishna.
Yeah. So again, this person who is a Bahuda Vishwato Mukham, worshipper of the universal form, he sees that the Omkar he chants, that is also Krishna. Obviously, it is Krishna only. But he sees like, okay, everything, that this wood, this chair, this table, this wall, everything, they are all manifestation of Krishna. They are like Krishna only and they worship him. Like these people, if they hear the pastime, Narsimdev appeared from the pillar, these people will start worshipping the pillar only. See, none of the devotees, they worship the pillar. Why? Because they understand the pillar is a medium for the Lord to appear, but they worship Lord only. But these people are like they are worshipping the pillar itself. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, from that example we can understand. Another example is like we have the country India. So India has some particular map, correct? So that particular map of India, it is having its own breadth and width and height. But what these people are doing, they have suppose we have some vegetables. So some vegetables we take and arrange it in such a way that it forms the map of the country India. And then we start saying about this vegetable made the map, that this is Maharashtra, this is Pune, like that. And they start identifying like that through that map. And they start considering this is India. It is a representation of India through some metal objects. So like that, these people are trying to do. India is something different. Supreme Lord is something different. But they are trying to figure out what is the Lord through the objects they have, through the objects they can see. Okay, through that example, you can understand what is this going on here. For this, those are worshipper of universal form. Okay, Gatir Bharta Pashu Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Surit Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyam. Okay. Isha Mataji, please read.
Yes, Prabhuji. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seat.
Yeah. So again, same thing continuing. So for the Lord is saying about this person who worships him in this way, he sees all these objects as the representation of Lord for him. Yeah, please read.
Gati means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled, and his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of their strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Chandra Loka, Surya Loka, Indra Loka, Mahar Loka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creation of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. But such planets, being manifestation of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna, but actually they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna.
Yeah, so that's what Prabhupada is saying. These are all Gyanis. They are doing some process, but it's a step forward realization of Krishna. So if they meet devotees, they can become devotees also. And if not, they can go on with their Jnana and then merge with the Supreme Brahman, like that. Okay. Yes, please continue.
To approach the different energies of Krishna is to approach Krishna indirectly. One should directly approach Krishna, for that will save time and energy. Krishna is the supreme ruler because everything belongs to him and everything exists on his energy. Krishna, being situated in everyone's heart, is the supreme witness.
Yeah, so here Prabhupada is saying about the path of bhakti is direct. And the path of impersonal worship or the Vishwatomukam, universal worship, they are all indirect approach. So if we want to save our time and energy, then we can take up to the path of bhakti determined way without having any divergence towards other forms of worship, demigod worship or universal form like this. Yeah, continue.
And whenever we have to take protection, and we should know that our protection must be a living force. Krishna is the supreme living entity. And since Krishna is the source of all generation or the supreme father, no one can be better friend than Krishna, nor can anyone be a better well-wisher. Krishna is the original source of creation and the ultimate rest after annihilation. Krishna is therefore the eternal cause of all causes.
Yeah, so different words actually Prabhupada explained. Here he explained the word Surit, his friend. So he said no, that I am the Surit. Okay, Nivasa, Sharanam, Nidhanam, Bijam, Avyayam. Nidhanam is resting place. So like that he has explained here. What is Nidhanam? Ultimate rest after annihilation. Okay, like that. Okay, so last sloka of this Gyani is meditation on universal form. Tapami aham varsham nigranami utrijami cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sad asat chaham arjuna. Okay, Mukund Patro, please read. I
Oh,
think
Arjuna.
you read, na bro. Okay, somebody
Yes,
else.
I read.
Aruna Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold consent, quotes the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me.
Yeah.
Krishna, by his different energies, diffuses heat and light through the agency of electricity and the sun. During summer season, it is Krishna who checks rain from falling from the sky. And then during the rainy season, he gives unceasing torrents of rain. The energy which sustains us by prolonging the duration of a life is Krishna. And Krishna meets us at the end as death. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna. And his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyamasundar playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so Prabhupada here very nicely has mentioned that what are the distinctions between this worshipper. See, in the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinction. He is only Krishna in everything. This point actually was for Gyanis only. Okay, that who is advanced Jnani, he can see everything Krishna. But those who are practitioner Jnani, they cannot see everything, they are trying. But this is contrasting between devotee and Jnani. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, okay, means he is both Jnana and Vijnana, the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna. Everything in this world, whether mountain or the table or wood, anything, everything is energy of Krishna, true. And his pastimes in Vrindavan as 200 Shyam Sundar playing on a flute are those of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So devotee meditation is on this. Okay. So Bhakta's meditation is on this aspect, not on this material aspect. That how all this material manifestation like the mountain and the river and everything is Krishna's energy. Yeah, that is not the active meditation or the meditation like, yeah, Krishna is the taste of water, Krishna is the sun among the luminaries. All these things are not his active meditation. If they come across, they can take an understanding like that. But the active meditation is what? Oh, he is the Shyam Sundar two-handed form who is playing on a flute in Vrindavan. That is his meditation of a devotee. Okay, so any questions on this section, what we discussed now? Jnani and
Yes, sir.
yes, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, actually, there are lectures of even Maharaj also, Radha Maharaj also, like we should see the how to see Krishna's hand in our like the daily activities also. So, like sun, when we see sun, the eye, or everything, like as you said, the rasom apsu kaunteya. So, like in Maharaj explained in terms of appreciation of Krishna, as we can see Krishna's hand, or even small activities also, or in our daily activities also we can see. So, but here I find this like little contradiction, like Gyanis. This is for Gyanis, not for devotees. But at the same time, it might help devotees also to see Krishna in all by seeing all other things, even appreciating from outside whatever we are dealing with through our senses. We can appreciate or we can connect these things to Krishna.
Okay.
So, what is your explanation?
Yeah, that's
Because
what I told you. Yeah, if you
Ah.
remember, I told a word here, active
active.
meditation. Yeah, so what I mean by this, I'll explain. So what Maharaj said, I very much appreciate, and it's true. But that is not the active meditation again. What the active meditation is, Krishna's form playing a flute, two-handed form, Shyam Sundar form playing a flute in Vrindavan. This is his active meditation. Active meditation is not he is the taste of water. If he comes across these things in the Shastra, he understands, yes, these are all true, but these are active meditation for Gyanis and such kind of people who are mentioned here. Okay. But these are not active meditation for the devotees who want to attain Vraja Krishna in two-handed form. So I very clearly told in the lecture that active meditation is not on these things for a devotee. Okay. For a devotee, active meditation is on this. Okay. So I will request you, see, as you told the name of Maharaj, so you hear all the, not all, whatever possible lectures you would have heard. You see where is the focus of Maharaj's explanation, whether the focus is on this or whether the focus is on this. You can identify yourself. Okay, where Maharaj is taking us, whether he's taking to the 200 form of Krishna in Vrindavan, that he's saying to meditate on in most of the lectures, or whether he's saying in most of the lectures to meditate on that Krishna is taste of water.
Yeah,
What is your
Rajendra
experience?
Krishna.
Huh?
Yes, Prabhuji. Rajendra Krishna only. But
Yes.
he said in explanation, he had said that we can pursue Krishna in our daily activities,
Yes,
and we should
Prabhu,
give importance
that
to
is not in the sense that that only should be perceived and forget 200 form of Krishna.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we cannot take one statement and make the philosophy out of it. That statement is true in its own context, in its own place, in its own priority. Priority for a devotee is this, not this.
Yes. Yeah.
That is my explanation for that. Hope it clarifies.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for asking question. Yeah.
No, thank you so much for
Hare Krishna. Okay. So any other question on this section? Kishore Madhav Prabhuji. Yes.
What does the word death personified literally means? Death personified.
Death personified. Yeah, here this word came, right? Mrityu Sarva Harasya Aham. That, where is it? Yeah,
In the
here.
purport it is mentioned.
Here. Purport also obviously explained the purport. Mrityush. Okay. So basically there is a Kala Rupa form. We will discuss in 11th chapter. There is Kala Rupa form of the Lord. Two forms of the Lord will be explained in 11th chapter. One is the form of the Lord which is static and thousand-headed form and all that. But there is a form which is moving, non-static. That is called Kala Rupa, where he is killing everyone. Like we can see this, what is that, Duryodhana and others being chewed in the mouth of Krishna. Krishna, that Vishrup form. Okay, so that is Kala Rupa form. That is compared to the death personified form. Okay, it's not directly Krishna, but one of the forms of Krishna. Okay. Is it okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, okay.
We'll discuss more in 11th chapter.
Okay, Prabhu, yes.
Okay. Any other question on this section? Okay. Yeah. 20th verse. So we can try to complete this 20 to 25. Okay. Demigod worship. Basically, this is Pratikopasana. The second type of Jnani, which was told. Okay. He is a demigod worshipper. Okay, that is being explained. So we have discussed quite about demigod worship in 7th chapter also. So we'll see how much we can complete. Traividyamam somapaha puta papa yagyer istvaswar gatim prarthayante te punyam asadya surendra lokam ashnanti divyan divideva bhogan. Okay. Bhakti Leela Mataji, please can read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Som juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly, purified of sinful reaction, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
Yeah, so these demigod worshippers, as we have discussed earlier, they are the followers of the path of karma yoga. Okay, and what is the purpose of karma yoga? There are two paths on this. One is Sakam Karma Yoga, and there is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Sakam Karma Yoga, they want to go to heaven. So this verse is explaining about this. Nishkam Karma Yoga people, they don't want to go to heaven. Then where they want to go? They want to go to the path of Jnana. Okay, and then from Jnana, what they want to do? They want to go to merge into Brahman. Okay, that is their goal. So these two types of karma yogis are there, and two types of destination. So here the explanation is of this person who is wanting to go to heaven. So that's why here he is saying what? Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, Soma Pah, seeking the heavenly planets. Prarthayante, they seek what? Swargati, Swarga. They what they do? They worship me indirectly. Indirectly means what? Pratikopasana. Pratik means sign or signature kind of thing or indicating. So that is like demigod worship. Okay. Why? That will be explained in the purport. And purified of sinful reactions because they are doing some activities which are pious activities and they will do some prayaschitta also. They will get purified of these reactions. By that, they will take birth on the heavenly planet. That's what is their desire of Indra. And where they get godly delights. Okay. That is the explanation of this verse. Okay. So we'll read verse. Yes, ma'am.
Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purport of studying them. Therefore, Krishna herein declared himself to be the ultimate goal for the three Vedas. Actually, three Vedas take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord.
Yeah, so now if you see the verse, there is mention about three Veda here, Vidya. Correct. So the knower of the three Vedas. What happened? Why they could not study the fourth Veda? What is the problem? Why three Vedas only said? Somebody can tell. In the purport also you can see here Prabhupada starts this verse actually by saying this name of the three, Yajur, Sam and Rig. These three. The Brahmana who has studied these three Vedas is called a Trivedi. Why they could not study the fourth Veda? No time. They know no interest. What is the reason? Anybody knows? Yeah, basically
Focusing only on karma
yeah.
kanda.
Huh?
Focusing only on karma kanda.
So what is there in the Atharva Veda? That fourth one, which they did not study.
Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Actually, in the beginning, there was only one Veda, but Brahmaji expanded to four Vedas. So that's why the additional three are like expansion only. So,
yeah, that is not the meaning here. Here, okay, what I heard is the meaning is that Atharva Veda is actually a miscellaneous Veda. Okay, like miscellaneous means we have some items we segregate into 2-3 things, and then something remains out that is told separately. So that doesn't have much content. It's like a short book. Okay, so main things are there in the first three Vedas only. Okay, these just contain some miscellaneous side topics. Okay, so generally people they study three Veda means they are considered to study four Vedas. Okay, Chaturvedi. This is a very short book. That's what is the understanding. So these people who are such great scholars who do not know the ultimate purport of studying. What is the ultimate purport of studying them? So here Prabhupada said, actual three Vedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in a pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. So which verse in Bhagavad Gita says this? That actual three Vedis take shelter of the Lord in devotional service. Very famous verse, must have heard many times.
15.15, Prabhuji.
Yeah, what is the verse?
सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्नविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानम् अपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहम् एव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृतवेद एव चाहम्.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So he is saying that Vedasya Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo. Among all the Vedas, I am to be known. Okay, so that is explained in 15.15. Yeah, people, when you study this or you tell them, they will ask, okay, you are saying on your own, where is it mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita? We should be able to quote this. Okay. Yes, please continue.
Unfortunately, those who are simply official student of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such an endeavor, the worshipper of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature and thereby elevated to the higher planetary system or heavenly planets known as Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, etc. Once situated on those higher planetary system, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet.
Yeah, so they are simply official students, basically. So Karma Yoga, they are like the official students. Okay. So they have not understood the heart of the teacher. The teacher, obviously, the Vedas are emanations from Lord Krishna. So he is saying Vedant Krit Ved Videva Chaham. So I am the Vedant Krit, and from all the Vedas I am to be known. He is saying. So they are official students, they have not understood this part that Krishna wants them to perform bhakti. They are doing what they want to do. Okay, which is also mentioned in Vedas. And what Prabhupada is saying, they will certainly purify. It's not that the path will not work for them. Yeah, it may be not practical so much in Kali Yuga because doing demigod worship is also very much compromised now. Like sometimes worship is doing some yajna or offering some, a golden bird has to be offered to the priest. but it is compromised, and then one is offered a only golden ring, maybe, or not even that gold painted ring sometimes. So these are all compromised things. So that may not be possible. Any path actually is not fully possible in Kali Yuga, except the path of bhakti, as Prabhupada has told, by chanting Hare Krishna. Okay, so now continuing the demigod worshippers' destination. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयीधर्मम् अनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं काम काम लभन्ते. Okay. Anuradha Mataji, please read.
When they have thus enjoyed a vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious actions are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
So, what is their final attainment? Immediate attainment was Swarga, but what is their final attainment? Gata, Agata. See, Gata, Agata. Death and birth. This is their final attainment. Means they will come, they will do the yajna, go to heaven. Okay. And then when the piety is over, then again come back to earth, then do yajna, again do go to heaven, and again come back. So this cycle continues, and they keep dying and then taking birth. Keep dying, taking birth. That's what is explained in this verse. Okay. And when this happens in the Swarga, when there is Chine Punya, this part is very famous among devotees. Chine Punya Martilokam Vishanti. Okay. So they come back to the Martiloka. Which is Martiloka? This is Bhuloka, that is earth. Okay. So they come back. Yes. Please read anything.
One who is promoted to the higher planetary system enjoys longer duration of life and better facilities for sense enjoyment. Yet one is not allowed to stay there forever. Again sent back to this earth upon the resultant fruits of life. He who has not.
Your voice is breaking. Is it breaking for me or for all?
For us
Others are able to?
No, for us also breaking.
It's breaking. It's breaking.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mati. Yeah, please try to read from here.
He who has not. No, I have to read it. Yes, he who has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Ashya Yataha, or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life and is thus subject to the routine of being promoted to the higher planet and then again coming down as if situated on a Ferris wheel, which sometimes goes up and sometimes comes down.
Yeah, so that's what is told in the verse Gata. Okay. Gata, Agata. Gata means to go, and then Agata means to come back. Agata. Yeah. So how is this example is given? Prabhupada gives Ferris wheel. We must have all seen this Ferris wheel. It rotates basically. Must have seen in the circus or some other places where the wheel goes on up and down. Okay. Yeah. So one more very important thing here is that one who is promoted to higher planetary system not allowed to enjoy forever. Like we can understand there are sometimes in companies they give this holiday trip. Somebody has done some good project or he has completed something. He has done very hard work basically. Means he has worked 12 hours for 1 week or 1 month and he has completed something very significant for the company. Then for that he will be given some 6 days holiday to go somewhere like Shimla, Kullu Manali or Ayodhya, if they want to go, like that, they will go and visit that place. Okay, and they'll have to come back after that 6 days is over. Okay, so like that is this. So they do some hard work, doing yajna, doing tapa, some things, austerities, and then they go to heaven. And then in the heaven, they enjoy, and then suddenly they vanish. There's no death there, and there's no birth also. So they'll just vanish from there as soon as the piety is over. Okay, they cannot stay there forever. So we can understand through that example. Yeah. Yeah, please continue.
The purpose is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world from which there is no longer any possibility of coming down, one simply revolves in the cycle of birth and death on higher and lower planes. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material existence.
Yeah, so they see the immediate, the prayers. So immediate there is enjoyment. So they cannot see the cycle of birth and death involved in this enjoyment. But devotees, those who see Shreyas, those who see long term, then they can see, oh, again I have to come back, I have to die, I have to take birth. So why not come out of this whole thing? Okay, like that. Okay. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaah paripasate tesham nitya abhyuktanam yogam yoga chemam vahamiham. Okay, so this is about the Ananya Bhakta. We'll just take this verse and then pause. Grihi Ganga Putra Prabhuji, please read.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have.
Yeah, so this is very, very important. So this is about Ananya Bhakta. Okay, this is like perfected devotee, this is not sadhaka. Okay. Tesham nitya abhyuktana yoga chemam vahamiham. Okay, so obviously for sadhaka also Lord takes care. Yoga shemam vahami aham. So what is the meaning of this phrase? This is a very famous phrase in ISKCON also. But what is the exact meaning of this? Yoga shemam vahamiham. So that Prabhupada explained in his purport. So what is the meaning of yoga? See here, requirements. Whatever is the requirement, which kind of requirement? There can be two kinds of requirement for a devotee. Requirement is material requirement and as well as spiritual requirement. So which one Lord fulfills among these two?
Spiritual.
Okay, spiritual. Okay. Anybody else?
Prabhuji, spiritual as well as those material requirements which are required for performing devotional service?
Yeah, both actually. Both are fulfilled actually by the Lord. Surely spiritual, but Lord fulfills both for devotees. Because they are like the Mam Bhakta, na, Lord has said. What word he used earlier? They are my devotees. He considers them their own. So he personally takes care that he fulfills their material need as well as spiritual needs. Okay, so you must have heard this story of Arjuna Acharya. So how many devotees have heard this story, Arjuna Acharya, about this verse? Raise your hands.
No, Guru.
I am asking who have heard, not those who have not heard. Okay, two devotees only. Okay, maybe others also heard but not raised hand. Okay, so in short, I will tell that story. Arjuna Acharya story actually is there are many versions. I will tell one version. Okay, so you might have heard other one also, so don't get shocked. So this version says that Arjuna Acharya, he was a great devotee. He was in Grihastha ashram and he was diligently studying Bhagavad Gita and writing his commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. So when he came across this verse, so he agreed with the first three lines. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Okay, that these people who always worship me with exclusive devotion. Ananya Chintayanto. Okay. And ye jana paripasate tesham nitya abhiktanam. They are constantly fixed, always fixed in devotion. For them, Arjunacharya, he agreed with this part. Okay, yoga chema mahami. But when he read this word aham, he was not able to understand that how Lord is saying aham means he personally. Lord is saying personally, I take care of their needs. Material need, spiritual need, both I take care personally. How is it possible? Like that, he was thinking. He was not agreeing with this word. Then he just crossed that word, and then he went out, and then he told his wife that I am going to take bath. Please prepare the lunch. I will come back and take. So he went there, and he went for taking bath. So it would take some time, but his wife saw that actually he came back in 10 minutes only. And he came back, and he told, yeah, I have very important work. So he went inside the room where he was doing the recitation of Bhagavad Gita. And after some time, then he came out and he told, yeah, please give the lunch. So he took the lunch, and then he went. And then after 45-50 minutes, then again, Arjuna Acharya came again. And he asked the wife, yeah, please prepare the lunch. I'll wear the dress and come. So wife was shocked. So she told, no, you just came now few minutes ago, and you went inside your room, you did some study, and then you came out, and then you took the lunch, and you told I have some very important work, and then you went also. So Arjuna Acharya was very shocked when he heard again and again from his wife that she is telling that he had come. And then he went inside the room, and he saw that whole room was actually filled with grains, whatever needed for the family life, everything was there, filled. And before that, the condition was his home. There were only things which were like as per the need. It was just minimal, so that he can live his life. And he could not agree with this, that personally Lord will take care of everything. So obviously he was a pure devotee, and he was Ananya Bhakta. That's why the Lord appeared to give him the understanding. We can understand. So that is, he went inside the room, and he saw the whole thing was filled with grains. And then he saw also in his Bhagavad Gita, this Lord had again written this word aham in the Bhagavad Gita. What he had marked, crossed it. So he had again written this word aham. So I personally take care. Okay. So from this story also we can understand that Lord personally takes care of not only spiritual, but also material needs. Material needs, whatever is required for one's performance of devotional service, and spiritual needs like developing some good qualities for their service, or service attitude, or for humility, or decrease of the bad quality like lust, anger, greed. All these things are given by the Lord. Okay. That's why here he said that he protects, okay, whatever the devotees have, whatever they have, like if they have some qualities like determination, humility, to whatever extent, Lord protects what they have. And what they don't have, okay, so it is said that he gives whatever they don't have. So these are the meanings. So he protects what they have, and he gives what they don't have. Okay. So short purport is there of Prabhupada. Okay, I think we'll pause here, and next class we will continue from here in the next week, because we have to see this is Baldevidya Bhushan's purport also. Okay, so we'll
I
pause
just
here.
want to
And if there are any, yes, bro.
I just wanted to mention that this particular shloka is a logo of a life insurance corporation, LIC.
Yes.
Yoga
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so they, I don't know whether we should call it life insurance or death insurance, because nothing is insured during the life. Everything is after death only. And that too, not for that person. Obviously, it is for the family members. Good, very good. But I don't know if they are fulfilling their spiritual needs. I don't know. Material needs, to some extent, they may be able to do. Obviously, whatever you keep the money, at least that much you will get back. So, yeah, it's good that they are having some spiritual logo from Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Anything else we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.